Thank you for joining us today for another laughablenews.com tutorial. Today we are discussing how to create an advertisement in Adobe Photoshop. Okay, the first thing you want to do is open Adobe Photoshop, and from the top menu choose File, New. Pop-up window opens up asking you to name your file and give the size and resolution. So for the name, we'll just call it default small ad. Now under the width, we have 2.75 inches selected. That's correct. If yours doesn't show inches, if it shows pixels or centimeters or points, something like that, it just means that your defaults were set a little differently. So use the drop down and choose inches. So the size we want is 2.75 wide by 1.5 inches tall. Resolution of 300 pixels per inch. The color mode, keep it as grayscale. And the background contents, transparent. Click OK. So now you are presented with a new default small ad template. It's completely clear, a clear canvas for you to work with. Now the first thing I want you to have a look at is over on the right side of the screen, there's a box here for layers. This first clear layer is called layer 1. It's really just your background layer. I like to keep everything nice and tidy, so I'm going to change that from layer 1 to background. So I'll double click on layer 1, type in the word background, and now I know what that is. From here, let's create a text area. So we'll start a new layer. From the top menu, choose Layer, New, Layer. New window pops up asking you what you want to name it. For text layers, we can just ignore that, and I'll show you why in a second. Click OK. Now, from the toolbox on the left, choose the capital T, which is the text tool. Left click anywhere on your ad, and you get a cursor. Type in anything you like. This is a sample ad. Okay. Now, this color, the black, is set over here in the text, the toolbox area. The defaults are black and white for background color. If you wanted to change this after the fact, you can highlight the whole thing, and up here just below the top menu there's an option to set the text color. So you could set it to a light gray or a red. Red's not going to show up because we're working in grayscale. We'll go back to black and keep it there. Now the font is also editable. Okay, once it's selected like this, go over here to this window. Left click in the font area, and you can just use your down cursor to scroll through the different fonts and choose one that you like. Or you can left click on this arrow and scroll down, seeing samples of every type of font. Might make it a little quicker to choose. Now, I mentioned earlier that for text layers, you don't need to enter in a layer name. And the reason for that is that once you enter text, over here in the layer menu, it actually enters in the first bit of text for you. So you know that's what you're working with. So now we have two layers. We have the background and this text layer. Now, if any of these windows don't pop open, like the layers or this character window when you're working on the ad and you want to find them, just go up to the top menu to Window, scroll down. You can see Character is checked, it's open. If you click it again, it'll disappear. Same thing with layers. So if you want a little more space to work with, you can clear off these windows, then bring them back at any time. You can also make other changes to this text file by highlighting it. You can change the font over here in the character window, the font size. You can change the color right here instead of using the top option there below the top menu. Change the height of the letters, and change italics, make superscript, subscript, underline, and strike through. Lots of different options. Now let's say you have this text area written, but it's not in the spot where you want it to be. Let's say you want it to be in the top left-hand corner. From the toolbox, choose the black arrow, the Move tool, left-click anywhere on your ad and hold with your mouse, and then just drag your mouse until you get the text area into the right spot and let go. Now if you want to add another area of text, let's go ahead and do that. Layer, I'm going to make a new layer. It calls it layer 1 again because we don't have any numbered layers. We'll click OK. Practice putting in a phone number. So we choose the text tool, bring our cursor over to the bottom right hand corner, get a blinking cursor, we'll type in a phone number. 5. Okay, let's change the font on that. Wouldn't necessarily keep this font, but just to show you what can be done. Move tool, we'll drag it over into place, and there's the phone number. And you can see in the layer screen, or the layer window, it's put the phone number in as the name of the layer. Okay, next, let's talk about images. If the company you're designing an ad for has some corporate logos or images that they want in the ad, they can send them to you via email. And then all you have to do in Photoshop is choose File, Open, navigate through your computer to find the ads. We'll go into Images. Let's just choose Bug. Click Open. Okay, now a new window pops up with that image. All you need to do to add it to your ad, we can do it in two options. One, you can choose the Move tool, left click right on that layer, and drag it right into your new ad. Notice how it changes from color into grayscale since we're working into grayscale. Let me back up. Another option for you. Is to choose the rectangle marquee, left click and drag to select the entire thing, and choose Edit, Copy, or Control C, and go to your ad and hit Edit, Paste. And you're presented with the same thing. Whatever works easier for you. Okay, let's move this around. Okay, now if we wanted to change the size of that, it's really easy. With the Move tool, the black arrow selected, you just left click on the corner of the new image. You can see that the cursor changes into a little stretch arrow, little back and forth arrow. Left click and drag. And you can change the size of this. Now the only thing you have to watch out for here is that you can make a real mess of your ad by flattening it, your image, flattening it or stretching it too tall and losing the aspect ratio. The way to get around this is to hold down Shift while you're dragging, and then we'll always keep it in the exact right aspect ratio. Now when you're done stretching it, it's going to ask you if you want to apply the transformation. Click Apply.